So why is the Battleship Texas moving? Well, sadly it turns out where she is, she just doesn't get a lot of tourism, but why is that? San Jacinto Monument also, since she's kind of paired up with the Battleship Texas, also does not get a lot of tourism. Of course, you can't move a battlefield, you can move a battleship. So San Jacinto Monument is stuck where it is. The battleship, however, is moving. Neither receive much tourism. But why is that? What can we look at to figure out why? I think we can find a reason right outside the gates.
Tonight is the third night in a row of a raging fire at the ITC chemical storage facility in Deer Park. You can see from this live picture from Air 11, it is still burning, but we know the situation is now improving. Take a look at how it compares to just 24 hours ago. You can see the fire from last night on the left side of your screen and the live pictures happening now on the right. Harris County tells us the number of tanks on fire is down from 8 to just 4 tonight.
Mia, good evening. We have seen a couple of bursts of fireballs into the air just within the last hour. In fact, you can see the flames over my shoulder. But as you just mentioned, this fire tonight, nothing what it looked like last night. Also, new information. We are just learning that several school districts in the area say they will not have classes tomorrow.
While neither one of those conditions are current, they are in fact a few years old. Doesn't change the fact that the park is surrounded by an industrial area. They have tried, such as here, painting historic scenes on some of the tanks to, make you feel a little bit better as you're driving into the park. However, you're driving past these tanks for 30 minutes or so before you actually arrive at the park. This is a drive into the park from Highway 146 onto Highway 225. At this position, I'm about 7 to 9 miles away from the park, and the industrial area is about to start here, and it doesn't stop until you get to the inside of the park. There you go. You can see where you first catch sight of the industrial area. And as we all know, these are in Houston, Texas, along the Houston Ship Channel. What can you say? It's progress. These are needed and they're absolutely necessary. But they're not really the things that you want to be driving past when you're going to a park to enjoy the day. Especially such a historic park for the state of Texas, and to see such a historic ship for, the United States, if not the entire world. So at this point, it's still about a 20-minute drive to the park. I've cut a lot of the dash cam video out just to save time, but it's pretty much the same all along the way. So can you picture yourself, a dad, his wife, a couple of kids in the back seat, anxiously waiting to get to the park, see the battleship, see the monument, maybe learn a little history because there's an awful lot of it out there, and you're driving past all this to get in. It's not exactly, there's the sign showing where you're headed. It's not exactly the environment that you picture driving past when you're going into a park, state park or national park, to enjoy the day with your family and maybe learn a little bit. This is the turn going on to the final stretch, the final road. Before you get to the monument, there's still a few miles left yet to go. We are about to enter the very heaviest part of the industrialized area. Of course, like I say, there's nothing you can do about that. We need everything that's there, I'm sure. But it's just not what you want to be looking at going into a park, I don't think. You'll notice an increase in truck activity here, and that's because of the refineries and manufacturing plants. And I want to stress here that I am not anti-progress. These things are needed, they're necessary, they're just not advantageous to the entryway of any kind of park, much less such a historic park. And these are the reason that I personally believe that both the Battleship and the monument have such low tourism these days. The area has just blown up with refineries, manufacturing plants, and the area is dirty, it's filthy. It gives you the feeling of not really being safe. Here you can see that there are chemical plants on both sides of the road, and we still got a ways to go yet to the park. Now you can start seeing that there's a bunch of junk. There's sandbags. Don't know what the sandbags at the side of the road are all about. There's fencing with barbed wire on the top protecting what, I don't know, but there's miles and miles of it. It's just not here we go onto the final stretch to get into the park. And what do we have? Broken sandbags everywhere, broken fencing, and there's the monument. You can see at the end of the road there. Look at the sides of the roads. Now this is not actually in the park, so you can't blame the park people for this. This is still city or county or state highway. I'm not sure who's responsible for it, but it's not the park. So you can't blame the park for that. It's just, to me, it's just not something a man wants to drive through to take his family out there. He might go out there with his buddies, but anyway, here we come up to the park. We got about another half mile to the entrance. Now the park itself is extremely nice. It's a very nice park inside. It's just getting to the park that it just gives you a feeling that, especially like I said, if you're a young dad with a wife and a kid or two, it's just a feeling that you're going somewhere you just really don't want to be. And if you've never been there before, you may actually turn around and go somewhere else. Now here we're looking at Google Earth on that road. This is the road that goes down to the San Jacinto Monument. Look at all the factories and everything on the side of the road, on both sides of the road. There's water retention ponds, factories, refineries. Look at all the oil tanks there. And all that is just a short distance from the park, the Battleship, and the monument. And any time a disaster may strike any of that, you could wind up in a bad situation, because there's only a few ways in and out of that park. There's the reflection pond for the monument, the Battleship Texas over there to the right with the two red dots, and the monument itself right there close to the center right there. Now Google Earth is going to give us an excellent view of what the surrounding area is like. As you can see, the park is a green patch in the middle of a massive industrial area. Now I'm sure there are a lot of reasons that this area has lost its tourism. There's the Battleship Texas, but I also believe that that's a large part of the reasons is the area is just too industrialized, and driving through it just has a bad feel to it. And it is, in fact, you can tell from the earlier videos, dangerous. So you guys tell me down in the comments what you think. I appreciate you watching. It's been a Jeep, a drone, and an old man. Be seeing you next time.